everybody. Welcome back to Dinner and a Show. I'm Brian.
I'm Tanner.
I'm Scout again.
Tonight we decided to watch a good movie about the making of bad movies.
One of the most famous bad movies of all time,
Plan 9 from Outer Space. And that movie is Tim Burton's Ed Wood, starring Johnny Depp.
Ed Wood, he is a aspiring film director in Hollywood, and he has a very bizarre method of making movies. He can hardly get anything off the ground. Somehow he becomes friends with Bela Lugosi, who, if you don't know, played Dracula back in the day. Hey, there's some people that don't. So
Probably me.
yeah,
It's fine. It's fine.
But through his friendship, he was able to get a few pictures made, and he was a very bizarre character. People were very confused of how he did films, and of course, towards the end, he starts making his Plan 9 from Outer Space movie.
His magnum opus.
Yeah, quote, magnum opus.
The film he'll finally get remembered for.
And of course, he's now known as one of the worst film directors of all time. Kind of a sad, tragic tale.
He is famous though. So
Yeah.
But he has
got
reached
some kind of fame.
at least cult status claim.
Yeah.
So,
Johnny Depp plays the title role of Edward D. Wood Jr. as this totally optimistic, really enthusiastic, cheerful, energetic. He's got this drive, he's got this passion. I love this guy. And
Johnny Depp is probably my favorite role that Johnny Depp's ever done.
Absolutely. You know what? It's actually my favorite Tim Burton film. In fact, it's one of my favorite films of all time. I seriously love this movie. I love how
it is mesmerizing.
Yeah, because it's filmed in a way that is kind of like, well, I mean,
it pays homage to the films of the 40s.
This 50s. It
50s,
obviously
sorry.
costs more than any Ed Wood movie combined.
Trying to make
I
a
probably use
compliment.
that to its advantage because it's a really tricky way to make the autobiographical. Sorry, I can't talk right. It's so late. It's kind of a risky move to take this semi-autobiographical tale of this man, Edward D. Wood Jr., who is now known as one of the worst directors of all time, because you could very easily make it into a film that mocks the guy. I don't think Tim Burton necessarily wants to taunt him, because I think he sees a little bit of himself in this character, in this real life, in this character.
Hopefully he's made.
Person.
Hopefully Tim Burton thinks he's made better films, but there's that passion that you see there that a lot of film directors aspire to,
and it's mainly up to the audience to decide how they're supposed to feel about Ed Wood, because you could admire him for having this dedication to his work, this true passion for it, living his dreams, having this great drive, or you could see this guy and be like, oh my god, this guy's a total schmuck. He's wasting people's money. He's making these terrible movies. Why do I want to watch this movie about him? It lets you decide for yourself how to feel about it.
You could just be really confused by him. He's so interesting.
He does act like a con artist towards the end because
he's not the easiest guy to understand. But you can tell that he's really enthusiastic about sharing his secrets to anyone that'll listen, such as him being a transvestite. He likes to dress in women's clothing.
That was an interesting twist, let me tell you.
Yeah, he and his crew got baptized to get money for their Plan 9 movie.
Let me tell you.
And he always... Sorry.
It was the most meaningful baptism you've ever seen in your life. You don't know the sarcasm in my voice. It's definitely there.
And he rarely went for a second take. He always said the first take was perfect. I think he was just happy to get any shot, really.
It was just kind of funny. Because, I guess he wanted to lift the egos of the cast. Or something like that. It's like, oh yeah, did great, perfect.
No more.
And it's just really funny how he did that. I loved how this was edited. The cross dissolves and just kind of the way the camera moved towards, during scenes, definitely towards the opening scene. It looked like it was straight out of the, the golden age of Hollywood, 40s, 50s. Sort of time period. I'm trying to think of a really good example, probably even Citizen Kane-ish.
Well, that would make sense because Orson Welles was Ed Wood's hero. He loves Citizen Kane. He loves the guy's work. He wants to be like him, so make a movie about him.
And it was just really great. And they even, paid homage to Bela Lugosi with, I forget the dude's name, the principal from Ferris Bueller.
Oh,
Criswell,
okay. The
guy
guy.
Jeffrey Jones. Oh, by the way, while we're on the subject of Bela Lugosi, Martin Landau, may he rest in peace. Man, did he give a great performance here?
Yeah.
He won the Oscar for this, and you don't see Martin Landau in this role. You see Bela Lugosi.
Yeah,
and it is wonderful.
He did this role
he's-
outstandingly well. I was amazed by his performance. I mean,
And one of the very best things about this film is the relationship between Ed and Bela Lugosi. And I think Tim Burton picked this movie mainly because it reminded him of his own friendship with Vincent Price
yeah.
in his later years.
Although Vincent Price wasn't really down on his luck, I don't think, in his career. Correct me if I'm wrong. Because he went on to do a few other deals, like with Edward Scissorhands, I think was his last movie, and he did get to work with
But he
Thriller
wasn't as well
and Michael
regarded as he
Jackson.
was back in his heyday.
That is true.
He was still struggling to find his way as the actor that he was.
Yeah. Although I think now one of his most memorable things was one of his most memorable things was his laugh in Thriller, which was one of his last projects. So I thought it was
Yeah.
pretty cool that he's reached a fame that has surpassed him. For those of you who love just the so bad it's good movies, we talked about The Room during our Manos Hands of Fate
Very briefly,
deal.
but still.
Very briefly towards the end. We watched it.
We love
it. We love it because it's so
so
bad.
bad.
Tommy Wiseau is kind of like the reincarnation of Ed Wood. I think if you want some sort
Except
of
this guy's
relation.
even more out of his mind. I can't wait to see the disaster.
Oh
of
my
this.
gosh, yeah, yeah. Tommy Wiseau is definitely a unique individual, well on his own. But he has that same passion. He just kind of said, screw the Hollywood system. I'm going to make my movie.
I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm
And you
gonna
know
get
what?
things done.
I give him props for at least making a movie,
Yeah.
like a feature-length movie. He did it. He got his cast, and they all did it. And I was like, good job. You know what? And I'll even give Ed Wood credit. He made not just one movie. He made several movies.
Yes.
All of them bad, but still.
Yeah.
And Wood's one of those people that I wish I could have just. Some people just wish you'd get in their mind and know their thoughts.
Just to see how they.
Yeah, just to see how they process life.
Yeah.
That's what just live. That's what I want
Really what I
from
get
him.
of it is this is just a guy who truly loves film. He loves to create, and he's just doing whatever he can to create his own films.
It's really
It's very passionate.
Yeah, and Tim Burton just does a great job. The film is in black and white completely.
I think the reason they did that was because they didn't know how to shoot Bela Lugosi in color.
That's a very interesting
Yeah.
thought that I didn't even think of. He goes, okay, well that makes perfect sense. But it also just kind of went along with the style of filmmaking back then. Because it was set in the 50s.
50s.
Got it right this time.
The
50s.
40s.
Um,
Embarrassing us.
Ah, my gosh. Yeah, it was set in the 50s, so they still had black and white back then. They weren't completely in full transition to color.
Yeah.
So, it made sense in the cinematography style.
I like the
sound
story
design.
structure too. This script was written by these guys. I can never remember their names. Scott Alexander and Larry something. I don't know. Correct me in the caption later. These guys also went on to make biopics such as The People vs. Larry Flint, Man on the Moon, and another Tim Burton film, Big Eyes. I guess they just like to do biopics. And by the way, back then they were known for doing the Problem Child movies, and they were almost denied access to write this script because studio executives didn't think they were talented enough to write based on their own treatment. So I was like, we're not talented enough to write our own movie?
This is during Tim Burton's heyday when he was just knocking it out of the park with films. Now he's just kind of a hit or miss, and hopefully he gets back on track.
It wasn't very successful with this film. I find that it's more his personal pet projects that don't make as much money as something like Batman or whatever. Because Big Eyes didn't make that much money either, and I don't think Frankenweenie got that much either.
But Frankenweenie was a stop motion.
Yeah.
I know that's not cheap. But anyway, I think we've said about as much as we can on it. Anything
Uh,
else? Last minute thoughts, Scout?
Props to the supporting cast, I guess. You got Sarah Jessica Parker, Bill Murray, Jeffrey Jones, George the Animal Steel, who played Tor Johnson. I love that guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's his
That's
voice,
right.
man.
There's also
That boy.
there's also many lines of dialogue that I like to like repeat from time to time. Like, filmmaking's not about the tiny details; it's about the big picture.
If only we can all use that excuse.
Yeah, I looked over and was like, "Is that how you feel about that?"
That's something else I love about
Yeah.
this. That's something else I love about this film. I see a bit of myself in the Ed Wood character, mainly because like
I do too. My sister, I do too.
I see this as I was like back in my high school days making movies. I think I might
Yeah.
even see a bit of myself nowadays, mainly because like no matter how good I think my stuff is, there's always a possibility that it's bad, and I just don't see it.
I'm just saying 'cause you're a little kooky, but.
Well, that's you're a loving sister.
I know.
You're right.
Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna give this film a secret handshake. It's one of my all-time favorite movies, my favorite Tim Burton film. I love it. I learn something more every time I watch it.
Yeah. I'm giving a secret handshake as well.
Alright.
Wonderful Johnny Depp performance, my favorite, more than so than Jack Sparrow. That's been done to death. Howard Shore did the score this time, not Danny
Not
Elfman.
Danny Elfman. That was kind of weird.
Yeah, that was interesting. But anyway, Howard did a good job. It's just I like Danny a little. He's more whimsical, I think. He and Tim Burton are just kind of like this.
Yeah.
So it was just weird seeing him with a different composer. But Howard Shore did a good job. But I think that's all we got.
Yeah.
What's your rating?
I'll give it a secret handshake as well.
Okay.
I didn't. It's not that I didn't expect to not to like it, but I just remember he watched it a lot, like when we were growing up, and so I'd walk in, and I don't know. I guess when I was younger, black and white just wasn't too appealing to me. And so I just remember those like the initial thoughts when I was younger. But no, I really loved this film, and it was really interesting. I think the word that I'm gonna go for the night is interesting.
Interesting.
Because he's interesting, the film is interesting.
That's all I got.
That's all I got too.
Yeah, so go watch this movie. It's very interesting. I'm Brian.
I'm Tanner.
I'm Scout.
We'll
We will see you at the movies.